Well, and hello and welcome back. This is the word processing review number 6, the mail merge. It's a demonstration, and the textbook is on page 345 and 346 if you're reading it from the textbook. In the previous video, we did steps 1 through 5, and I'd like to point out the beautiful work we did in steps 1 through 5. Okay. Let's look carefully at the screen, folks. Let's see if I can zoom in on this any better. Nope, can't zoom in while I'm sitting there. Okay, so the keys to this exercise are data entry. That's one of the keys. Now, the ice cream, all right, that's going to be extra special spacing, and I can't show that to you any better than I have here. But the words vanilla peach have no extra space after the word peach. Cinnamon peach has no extra space after the word peach. The other areas that sometimes catch people is the extra space after the first name. Check each one to make sure there isn't any extra space after the word, because that'll catch you later, and you don't want to have that. Also, another thing you want to look for, all right, if you're using the tab key to move from one field to the next, as I'm doing now, you want to make sure you stop at the end of the fourth record. Do not hit the tab key again, creating a fifth record, save your work, and now you've got a blank record in your file. You definitely don't want to do that. So if you do, here's what happens. All right, you click on the tab key, and now right now I have a fifth record, and it's empty. You do not want to ship or mail something that's to nobody, so we're going to remove it. Make sure you use the delete entry button in the bottom left hand corner of your screen. Delete that entry, and now I only have 4 records. Very important, just keep 4 records on your address list. Then you can click OK here, and the next thing this data wants to do is have a place for your data sources. I can't tell you, because we're remote, all right, we're distance learning today, where to put your data source. But I'm going to put my data source, okay, and I'm going to leave it in the data sources that Microsoft defaults to. And that folder is in your Documents folder under the My Data Sources. And we're going to call the data source Ice Cream Data, and then add your last name, Ice Cream Data, and add your last name, and it's going to be in the My Data Sources folder. And I'm going to look for that in just a minute. Click Save. And let's see if we can bring that up on the screen. Okay, so here I am in my Mail Merge folder. I have the 3 original files plus the main document letter that I'm creating. I'm going to open up another window for the File Explorer, and I'm going to go to the Documents folder, and I'm going to look for some data sources. There we go, My Data Sources. We're going to open that folder, and here is an open format. It's the Ice Cream Data with my last name. That's the data. That's the 4 addresses. And the data is stored in a rather older looking version of the Microsoft Access database format. That's just trivia. You don't actually have to know that, other than the fact that while you're looking at this and your letter is open, you can notice you have the locked record, all right, the record locking file, and the data itself. You've got 2 of them. When you close your letter, the record locking file will go away, and you'll be left with 1 file left. Okay, so I just want to point that out, simply because when it comes time to hand your work in, you have to know where this file went, and we may end up talking about that later. All right. Okay, so that was step number 6, and I wanted to make a point of where you kept your file. Item number 7, it says we're going to edit the data source to replace Marcus with you. Okay. That comes under the Mailings tab in the Edit Recipient list. Okay, and that's a dialog box. This is the dialog selector, but it doesn't allow you to edit Marcus. You have to select within the data source box. It's in the tiny left-hand corner. Select it and then choose Edit. And now you get the screen that you were looking at once before. So here's Marcus. Okay, we're going to take Marcus out and replace it with your name, not mine. Replace it with your name. If you want to, you're welcome to go so far as to change the email address. It's not necessary, but if you want to, you can. And your phone number remains unchanged, and your address remains the same too. You're going to temporarily relocate to Georgia. When you're done with adding your name, you click OK. It'll ask you, are you sure you want to update? You say yes. And then we click on, let's see, do we have to change anything here? Yes, we do. Item 8, it says we're going to change everything into zip code order and then by last name. So in this dialog box, you select the sort command. It's in the right bottom section, sort. And we choose a sort field. The first one is the zip code. And then we're going to sort by the last name. And that's so very typical of mailing lists. And then choose OK. And as it turns out, no matter what, your name should be at the top of the list because yours is the lowest zip code, 31028. The author was thinking ahead there. And then go ahead and click OK. Step number 9, it says we're going to replace the inside address with an address. There's 2 ways to do this. The author's intent was that you would replace it with one piece at a time. We're going to do it that way first. So where it shows the inside address placeholder, replace everything else, but do not remove the paragraph marker with it. So that when you start adding new fields, you should see the date and you should see 2 paragraph markers. Your insertion point should be at the paragraph marker just above the salutation. And then we're going to insert a field and choose first name. Then you press the space bar. Then you insert a field and you choose the last name and click insert and close. Now press the enter key. Insert a field, address line, press enter. Insert address line 2, enter. Insert city, press the space bar. I think that's what the author is looking for. No, I think the author is looking for a comma space. So let's change that. Add the city, use a comma, then a space bar, then insert the merge field and do the state. Then 1 space, and then insert and move the zip code. Insert the zip code. Then we'll go to step 9 and we remove the first name. Now in this case, when you remove the first name, you remove the square brackets, but please do not remove the colon. All right, when you're done backspacing, it should read dear and a space and a colon, and your insertion point is just prior to the colon. Okay, and at that point, we're going to add the first name. And that is item 10. Okay, item 11, it says insert the ice cream type where it belongs. Okay, so it's in the second line of the body of the text. Again, you want to be very careful here about the spacing. When you're done removing the placeholder, your insertion point should be between two spaces. So you have a quart of, a little space, your insertion point should be resting here, another space, and then the ice cream, the set of words ice cream. Then we're going to click on Insert Merge Field and choose Ice Cream Type here. The next thing we'll do is item 12. We're going to save our changes. So click on the File command and choose Save, or Control S if you wish. Now we've completed the steps of doing the insert of fields. We preview the results. And so far, things are looking pretty good, but not yet perfect. I want you to pay special attention, please, to the spacing around your name and the spacing around the ice cream type, so that it looks normal and natural as if you were reading it. And if you turn Show Hide off, okay, everything should look pretty good. Go back to the Mailings tab. I'm going to select the first 3 lines of the address, and then I'm going to go to the Home tab in the Paragraph group, Line and Spacing command, and I'm going to remove space after paragraph so the spacing will be more condensed. Then I'll go back to the Mailings and I'll preview my results. Okay, so that is step 12. I'm going to pause here, save my work. We'll pick it up on step number 13 in the next video.